Imagine you suddenly receive a photograph. In that photo, your child appears to be bound, trapped, freezing, and crying out for help. At the exact same time, a strange voice on the phone threatens to end your child's life unless you transfer thousands of dollars in ransom immediately. In a state of pure panic, any parent would pay right away. What if I told you that your child was actually never even touched by a kidnapper? What if they were voluntarily hiding in the middle of a freezing wilderness, terrified out of their mind, simply because a voice on the phone forced them to? Welcome to a horrifying new era of crime, cyber kidnapping. This terrifying story isn't fiction. It is a real case that happened to a 17-year-old Chinese exchange student named Zhuang, who was studying in Utah, United States. In early January 2024, the world was shocked by the news of his mysterious disappearance. His school reported him missing, and after an intensive search through freezing snow, the Riverdale Police Department finally located Kai inside a small tent in a remote, rural area. He was found in a devastating state, freezing, starving, and deeply traumatized. However, the police encountered a baffling detail. There were absolutely no other footprints around the campsite. No chains, no weapons, and no signs of physical force. How did Kai end up there? The answer shocked investigators. Zhuang was being completely controlled digitally, from thousands of miles away, by a mysterious band of scammers. Let's break down how this cruel scheme actually works. Police discovered that the psychological terror began in mid-December. Through highly manipulative phone calls and a barrage of text messages, the unidentified scammers managed to completely brainwash Kai. They terrified the teenager by claiming that his family back in China was in grave danger. According to the kidnappers, the only way to save his parents was to follow their exact instructions. Kai was forced to buy camping gear, isolate himself in the freezing Utah wilderness, and cut off all communication with the outside world. Once Kai was completely isolated and unreachable, the real trap was sprung. Under intense psychological pressure, the scammers ordered Kai to take photos of himself, looking as if he were being held captive. These self-taken photos were then sent by the scammers directly to Kai's parents in China. Seeing their only child in such a horrific condition in the middle of nowhere, Kai's parents panicked. Driven by absolute terror, they immediately transferred $80,000 to the scammers' accounts. It was a perfect crime. The criminals walked away with tens of thousands of dollars without ever laying a single finger on the victim. The big question is, why does this psychological trick work so effectively? According to cybersecurity experts, modern technology has transformed traditional scamming into a highly sophisticated criminal industry. Joseph Steinberg, an international cybersecurity expert, warns that this modus operandi is becoming a rising global trend that could target any parent next. In the past, these criminals targeted more vulnerable individuals, such as undocumented immigrants, demanding smaller ransom amounts. But now, their targets are expanding, and the payouts are massive. The criminals rely heavily on two main weapons today. First, social media. Scammers conduct deep research on their targets using Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook. They find out where your child goes to school, who their friends are, and when their parents are busy. They craft highly personalized scenarios that sound incredibly authentic. Second, AI voice cloning. This is the most alarming part. Steinberg warns that criminals can now use artificial intelligence to replicate the exact voice of your child or family member. With just a few seconds of audio clips found online, an AI can generate a screaming plea for help. So accurate that even a biological parent would be fooled. Marie Helen Maraz from the John Jay College of Criminal Justice added that several similar cases have already been reported targeting Chinese exchange students in other countries, including Canada and Australia. So, how can we protect our loved ones from the threat of virtual kidnapping? Experts recommend 3 simple yet crucial steps you should take right now. First, limit the information you share on social media. Avoid publicly broadcasting real-time locations, your children's schools, or personal phone numbers. Second, don't panic, and always verify. If you receive an emergency call claiming your loved one has been kidnapped, keep the scammer on the line so they don't get suspicious, but immediately use a separate device to call your child directly or contact their school to verify their actual location. Third, create a family password. This is the most effective tool. Establish a secret word or phrase known only to you and your children. If someone calls demanding a ransom and cannot provide that specific password, you can instantly know it is a scam. Technology makes our lives much easier, but in the wrong hands, it can become a terrifying weapon. Staying informed is your very first line of defense. What are your thoughts on this cyber kidnapping scheme? Have you or anyone you know ever received a scam call like this? Share your stories in the comments below. Don't forget to share this video with your family group chats, parent networks, or close friends to keep them safe. Like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more deep dives into cybercrime and cyber investigations. See you in the next video.